The diversity of cultural activities that have taken place throughout the year have offered something unique for people of all ages and interests, and I am proud to have been involved in many of these important initiatives.
We have this vibrant cultural scene, and seeing it come to life in such a fantastic and myriad ways was really quite gratifying.
It's bringing different elements from culture to different parts of society that we might not have been able to touch otherwise. So I think that was a different dynamic that spread the cultural understanding.
I was delighted to see that the effort of the project leads and the volunteers really came out. The people that attended were enthused about what they were seeing.
Culture is one of the most collaborative sectors, and it is. But to demonstrate that, to show that you can put the stamp of your own municipal personality on an event and still relate it to the whole, that was very, very gratifying.
We had, kids just starting out to accomplished artists that had their works exhibited in museums in Chicago and galleries, in Toronto. And they just all came together and saw what each one were doing and were able to interact.
It's been a very exciting year for me. I loved getting to meet the artists that I got the opportunity to work with. And we had a nice mix of some professional artists from the region as well as a number of very talented but maybe less experienced artists. And I found that the most exciting part.
To see that joy on the face of the kids, right, when we were distributing the flowers, and also to see the guests receiving these flowers and being so happy and I guess in a certain way surprised for that kind of welcoming committee. Every project makes you see yourself even in another way.
I was an exhibitor at the Mount Carmel Fine Arts and Music Festival this summer, and I was able to showcase my handicraft, my native craft, and some of my artwork. We also attended the Carousel Players Water Under the Bridge, which was great.
And then eventually Carousel Players helped us because Castle Moon Theatre is a very, very small theatre company, so we needed a partner in this. It's a very interactive show, so the kids come up on stage and they touch things and help with things.
I've been involved with Riverbrink Art Museum, our main exhibition, our banner exhibition, Riverbrink's War of 1812.
We were engaged in the Art in the Village as part of the Cultural Capitals of Canada. It was Saturday, July 28th, and we had it in Jordan Village, and we used the Jordan Historical Museum of the 20 as a backdrop for the event.
We got to bring over the only portrait of Brock, General Brock, that was done as an adult from Guernsey. This is his own portrait that he had done. It hasn't been on this side of the Atlantic for over 200 years, and it was at Riverbrink Art Museum this summer.
So we promoted the Cultural Capital of Canada Passport Program on our website, we had it in our magazine, as well as through Facebook and other social media channels. And so we invited people from Niagara to come into one of our branches and pick up the passport and bring it to one of the Nights of Art events.
My involvement with the Cultural Capital of Canada has been through the Night of Arts. So I participated in Wainfleet at their event and also in Port Colborne.
It was a fabulous night that was totally unexpected from us, from a staffing perspective, a volunteer perspective, that there's stuff going on in the restaurants, that there's art being displayed everywhere, that people were coming into this area to walk around at night.
It was an event that brought out artists that I had no idea that we even had in the municipality of West Lincoln. And it was such a joy to see them all come together and be able to present their cultural diversity and know that they all came from the same municipality.
There was a lot of involvement of children, and the events were organized around that, and children working with artists to really get a sense of what art was all about and do some projects, and that was great.
There were people of all ages attending, including lots of children, and my 7-year-old thought it was wonderful. He could run around, he could look at the art and learn about different arts and culture without actually being inside in a museum setting where he normally would learn about that. So it was great for kids.
I think it's so important that children are exposed to as much as possible. Culture, art, because it gives them options, it gives them ways to express themselves.
To welcome people as being part of Canada Tapestry. It actually reached the kids.
One was the spontaneous act. There was a group, the drumming corps came to regional council.
So Return of the Stars is basically a chance for people who are from the area who have become successful in their field to come back and kind of share their experiences, put on a show, and talk to young kids who are growing up and they want to work in the industry, kind of provide tips for them. So it was definitely cool to see people that are that successful in what they do and have made it in a field that is very challenging to make it in.
This exhibition increased attendance at Riverbrink 72% over last year. That a whole new group of people came in. Secondly, we got to network through this program with a lot of cultural institutions throughout the region.
The network that I found of artists in Wainfleet surprised me. I think 25 different artists collected there, and 400 people came through and saw us. So the whole arts community, I didn't even know existed. I thought I was the only guy in Wainfleet.
Many of the arts groups came together and was able to showcase all their different talents throughout the region. It became one community throughout Niagara.
We've been meeting with some of the artists, going to different art shows, and the networking that is gelling and beginning to develop has been really nice. And I've been overhearing conversations that this was so much fun, I want to do it again, let's work together on another project.
With partnership, we get stronger. And when we get stronger, we do beautiful things. A partnership happened where two different associations came in together, decided to work together, and then respected whatever the other one had to say or had to give.
It was just really cool providing them a backdrop to get together and to get to know one another, because I think a lot of times the artists work in isolation.
The artists loved being there, they loved meeting the public, they loved making little presents that they gave to the public, they loved the kids who came in. I think the first thing it did was it made it cool to go to the arts, to go to heritage. There is now a larger awareness of what is going on in Niagara.
And we're also still seeing some of the benefits of some of the recordings and the metrics and the statistics to show what culture is in Niagara.
I think textile arts in general are one of the most underexposed media in contemporary arts, that it was really exciting to see the region pick up and feature textiles as a media.
It is true. Everybody's an artist. You can do it. All you need is a little bit of time. And I still have an art teacher. And my art teacher tells me that I should add some color. And, maybe one day I will. But for me, the challenge and the fun is still in just the pencil and a piece of paper and what happens when you're done.
It means a lot because it made me look more into myself and to realize that sharing my culture is important not only to myself or my family, but it's important to the community. As being a Native person in the Niagara region, it is also showcasing that I am proud and want to share my culture with you.
It's been wonderful to see some of the traditional styles incorporated with the more contemporary experimental techniques that some of the artists are using. I know all of us were thrilled to have it featured in this project.
It's always amazing as a playwright to see your work on the stage. So those first moments in the gym are amazing. There was this one girl that we saw who was a special needs girl, and she was quite active during the show, quite vocal, and then one of the actors picked her to go up on stage to help Daniel when he was stuck on the bridge. And she just had a great time. She was pulling so hard. Her feet were almost lifting off the ground. She was trying to pull so hard.
I would like to recognize Niagara Regional staff, volunteers, and community cultural organizations whose creativity, commitment, and passion have come together to deliver many cultural projects and events that have taken place this year. It is also important to acknowledge the Government of Canada for bestowing upon us the honor of a Cultural Capital of Canada designation for 2012.
The leadership, the vision of people like Judy Castleman or Dr. Rosemary Hale, who got us started on culture planning in Niagara a number of years ago. This is really the penultimate gratification that they're going to get, because that vision has proven itself out.
The great thing about this event is that it has put into motion some legacy, if you will. What I saw was that the individual project leads were cooperating with each other.
And I think that's the big thing too, of the groups coming together and, leveraging, where you buy things, where you rent things, and how you can support each other. How can I make this bigger and better? Like it was really hard to get it off the ground and not knowing where to go and get things and not knowing where to source the racks to be able to hang the work. Now that we know all that, it should be easy.
I think the lasting legacy is the knowledge from artists and from the community that we exist, we're a community service, and we are there to tell their story. I think this will continue. I think there is more support on a grassroots level for art in all its forms.
People coming through and seeing that there are artists in their community, actually meeting them. I'm a teacher in my other existence, and most of my students didn't know what I did until they saw me. And that's opened up a whole new world for them. They want to come and talk to me about art and do art.
We have more cultural diversity here in Niagara than we ever realized.
Because it raised such an awareness, the legacy will be that, moving forward, we are going to see lots more events in all of the municipalities.
It was really exciting times and really provide building blocks for where we go for ourselves in the next couple of years and where culture can take us.
This was an absolute team effort, and the team grew in ways we never expected.
Everybody will win. Culture grows. It's that kind of networking.
There was new people and a lot of new audiences, which is what's great. There's a lot of people who saw theater who either haven't seen it in a very long time or have never seen it.
I think it's been a wonderful year and a wonderful thing for Niagara to recognize and really celebrate our success.
I was discovering things that were going on here I had no idea of. No idea at all. And they were going merrily along, but it's the collective. It's seeing the entire sector en masse is really quite impressive.
Chaque moment a permis une évolution.
Let's keep doing the arts. Let's not let the arts go.
Let's keep this going.
I think we're ending on a high note, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in the future.